These Roblox games have made grown adults turn their monitor off and walk away. Here are 5 Roblox horror games that are genuinely creepy. Number 5. Apeirophobia. At first, Apeirophobia looks like a backrooms game. Dark hallways, liminal spaces, eerie lighting. Standard stuff. But then you realize the entity chasing you doesn't follow normal rules. It doesn't make predictable sounds. It doesn't move the same way twice. And the further you go, the more the environment stops making sense. The game is named after the actual fear of infinity, the feeling that something just never ends. And playing it alone at night, that feeling hits harder than you'd expect. Number 4. The Rake Remastered. The Rake Remastered looks simple. You spawn in a dark forest. You have to survive the night. That's it. But that's not the strangest part. The rake itself, the creature, doesn't always come from the same direction. It doesn't always make noise before it appears. Some players have described sitting completely still for minutes just staring into the dark, waiting. And what happens next is the worst part. Sometimes nothing happens for a long time, and somehow that's scarier than the actual jump scare. Number 3. Dead Silence. Dead Silence calls itself the #1 scariest game on Roblox, and most players who've actually finished it don't argue with that. It's based on the 2007 horror film of the same name. You investigate an abandoned theater looking for a murdered ventriloquist named Mary Shaw. The sound design alone is enough to make you uncomfortable. But this is where it gets interesting. The game has a mechanic where looking at the puppet slows her down. But if you stare for too long, your screen starts going gray. Your movement slows, and she gets closer anyway. Most players don't make it through on their first attempt. Number 2. The Mimic. The Mimic is built around Japanese urban legends, and that alone makes it different from every other horror game on Roblox. Each chapter has its own story, its own monster, and its own rules. The creatures don't just chase you. They feel like they belong in the world. The candle mechanic is what gets people. You have a limited amount of light, and there are never enough candles for all the players in your group, which means at some point, someone is going to be left in the dark. The Mimic has over 1 billion visits and still gets nominated for awards. It doesn't need to try hard to scare you. It just does. Number 1. Doors. Doors looks like a simple concept. Walk through 100 rooms. Don't get caught. But what makes Doors genuinely terrifying is that most of the entities behave differently every single run. Rush hits fast. Ambush fakes you out. Seek chases you through an entire section of the game. And then there's Figure, a completely blind entity that navigates entirely by sound. If you make any noise near it, opening a drawer too fast, moving at the wrong moment, it knows exactly where you are. The hotel floor alone took most players multiple attempts. And when the mines floor dropped in 2024, the difficulty went up even further. Doors doesn't just scare you once. It scares you differently every single time you play. Have you played any of these alone? Because if you have, you already know exactly why they're on this list. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. More Roblox videos are coming soon.